Is an iPad just a toy, or could it be the future of the guitar rig? Over the past few years, I have built more and more of my setup around the iPad. And in this video, I want to show you where it's incredible, where it falls short, and whether I'd actually trust it on stage. Let's get into it. So, for a little bit of context, I've been a gigging musician for over 20 years, playing all the typical low-key venues, pubs, clubs, weddings, that kind of thing. And in my time, I've had more than my own fair share of guitar modelers. I've owned a Kemper head, Kemper stage, a Helix, HX Stomp. I've even had the original Kidney Bean Line 6 unit. So I've had a bit of experience with many of these different modelers, and I think they're all great. But if you've been following this channel, you probably know me more for the Loopy Pro content I put out, and I've been more and more pushing the limits of what an iPad can do when it comes to guitar rigs and live setups. First, three key things about this video. Number one, I am not talking about real amplifiers. I still think that a real amplifier in the room with you, moving air, is the most enjoyable experience. What we're talking about today is digital modelers, whether that's a quad cortex, a Helix, or some AUV3 plugins or guitar amp sims on the iPad. Number two, this is about gigging musicians, for people that go out there and actually play gigs, not playing in your bedroom or playing in your studio. The key question being, can you trust it on stage? And number three, this isn't about which one sounds better. I really think you're splitting hairs at this point. Helix, quad cortex, the fractal stuff sounds incredible, and NAM captures on the iPad or any of the plugins that you can get sound incredible. This is more about the actual setup, the system, and how it works. So what actually is a guitar modeler? Essentially, it's a purpose-built computer designed to do a job. But the thing is, most of us already own some kind of powerful processor when it comes to an iPhone or maybe an iPad. So why aren't more people taking advantage of these processors in our devices and building incredible guitar rigs around them? First, let's take a look at why hardware units are still around, still very much relevant, and incredibly useful. Well, the point here is you get everything all in one in a package. The software, the processor, all of the sounds, the hardware, the inputs, the outputs, the foot switches, all come in one solid unit. Obviously, you can get bigger and smaller modelers and different prices, but all of the thinking is taken care of by a company. You don't have to think about how your processor is going to handle it. It'll either handle it or it won't. It won't allow you to load more effects than you're able to use. You don't have to worry about updates. A company is out there taking care of that for you, and it's being tested all the time. And things generally are very reliable, especially if you've got something from Line 6. They tend to really look after their customers. I had a HX Stomp for many, many years, and I was always getting more and more features, and it was extremely stable. And for all of that convenience, everything in one package, you pay a price for it. It costs a considerable amount of money. Granted, this Tonex isn't that expensive, maybe £300 odd, but some of the bigger units can be anywhere from £1,000 to £2,000 and above. But let's move over to the iPad and talk about why this is such an exciting platform. Firstly, if you've got to go out and buy an iPad or an iPhone, then this is a bit of a different comparison because the cost of an iPad is quite substantial. But let's assume you already own an iPad or an iPhone and you're thinking about putting a few apps on there to run some guitar sounds. In that case, it's really quite cheap to get into it. There are endless amazing tones from amazing developers, and now there's the whole world of NAM and NAM captures, which I looked at in my last video, which are really making me question the point of having something like a Kemper when I can just load these amazing captures. To get it working, you only need an audio interface so that you can get your guitar into the iPad and into those programs. The iPad is then extremely flexible. You can do things far beyond what you could do with a hardware modeler. If you want to load all kinds of different plugins from different manufacturers, you can do that, whereas on hardware modelers, you're limited to what comes from that company. If you want to install amazing looping programs, which are incredible, like Loopy Pro, then you can do that. If you want to make it a vocal rig, a guitar rig, a bass rig, it's so flexible. You can put in an audio interface with loads of inputs. You can plug in a MIDI foot switch. I've got a Morningstar MC8 Pro, so you can expand it to your heart's content. That's really one of the biggest strengths of an iPad system. It's modular, it's flexible, not to mention you've got this incredible touchscreen interface where you can make adjustments to all of your parameters, build your presets and stuff way nicer than you do on a tiny little screen, which a lot of these modelers have got. But it really is exciting. You can build amazingly complex rigs and have some wonderful sounds. But what's the catch? Well, its biggest strength is also its weakness, in my opinion. The fact that you can plug in your own MIDI foot switches, decide on your own audio interface, and install hundreds of different wonderful apps means that you might be firefighting different problems as they come up. For example, let's just take Apple. If they decide to release an update which causes loads of bugs, then that's got a knock-on effect. You've got now a gigging system that's a little bit risky. What if your audio interface breaks or doesn't play nicely with your iPad? What if your foot switches are cheap quality and not really as high quality as something like a Line 6 Helix? What if an individual app, maybe it's just a reverb app or something like that, gets an update and then there's a bug? It might cause the whole program to crash. So can you really count on the iPad in a professional scenario? That's something you have to think about. And now I'll move on to the absolute biggest weakness of using an iPad for any kind of guitar rig, looping rig, vocal rig, whatever else, is the overheating issue that we have. Essentially, an iPad sucks the heat in. It's a big black screen if you're doing any kind of outdoor gigs. I have experienced this when the temperature is so high that you have to stop using the iPad altogether. There's a few workarounds: shade, umbrellas, fans. You can even get cases with fans built in, but it's definitely something you need to know about if you really are a professional out there gigging all the time. Just before I give you my final conclusion, if during this demonstration you enjoyed any of the sounds coming from this wonderful ambient delay, this is AU delay from Rob Jackson, a really simple looking delay but sounds super nice. Then he has kindly given me some download codes which I can share with my viewers. So just comment down below AU delay and give me a thumbs up, hit a like on this video, and then I will pick 5 winners when I get the chance. So, can an iPad really replace your professional guitar rig or your guitar modeler? Yes, with workarounds. It's not perfect and you need to be aware of them. I think if you're a touring professional, then there is absolutely still a huge market for proper guitar modelers that are tried, tested, and looked after. But the key point I want to really sort of bring things back to is most of us are not touring and gigging musicians. Most of us play at home and we just want really nice guitar sounds and inspiration. And for that, if you already own an iPad or an iPhone, then I think it makes a lot of sense. I regularly gig with an iPad doing live looping shows, and it's been absolutely fine for me, apart from a few moments where I get CPU spikes and overheating. So it is always in the back of my mind. It does make me a little bit nervous, and that's why I'm still always looking at hardware. But that's my honest take on this whole scenario. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments if you would trust an iPad as your main guitar rig. Have you had success? Have you had troubles? And I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.